Hey, what's up, trail runner? Coach Kyle here, and today I'm going to talk to you about some trail running etiquette. These are some do's and don'ts so you don't look like a dick out on the trail. And if you don't know, I'm Coach Kyle. I work primarily with plant-based distance runners all over the world, working on their nutrition, their strength work, their running, bringing it all together with great accountability and motivation without being asked where they get their protein from. And if that sounds like your jam, check out my website. But let's get on to trail running etiquette. One of the best tips for trail running, especially in the spring or the fall when there is greater variability in the nighttime versus the daytime temperature. Whereas in the morning, like you can see right now, the trail is totally frozen. It's not wet. It's covered in ice and snow. So if you're gonna be trail running when there's potentially going to be wetness on the trail and you have the opportunity to do that when the trail is still frozen, go then. It's gonna be better, safer for the trail versus running through puddles, running when it's wet. And so morning runs in the spring or the fall when the trail is still frozen are going to be best for the trail system. So this is a really hard one to do, especially for me, and it is when you do run on the trails and you might come across some puddles or some mud. Go through the puddle, go through the mud. No matter how white your shoes are, just do it, just go through. And some trails, especially private trails, will even go as far as to, post on their Facebook page or put up a sign saying, we're closed for the next couple days, trails are too wet. And the private trails especially do that to protect, because the trails take time and resources and money to not only build but preserve. And so when you go out on trails that might not shut down for a couple days because of rain, just be aware that you might not want to go out there. But if you go out there and you happen to come across a couple trails, a couple of puddles, just go through them. The reason for that is that when you go around a puddle, you are damaging the grass around the puddle, and that damages the trail. It widens the trail and it makes the puddle grow larger. So sometimes, especially on older trails or trails that get a lot of foot traffic, you can see that these puddles and the trail itself has widened over time because people are going around the puddle. So it's making the puddle worse. It's making the puddle wider, and it's damaging the side of the trail. It's damaging that grass, the weeds that protect the trail and keep it kind of in place and in line. So I know it's hard sometimes, but just suck it up. You're out there, you're trail running. Go through the puddles, go through the mud. So as a trail runner, you must be aware of how to pass or let others pass on the trail. It's common courtesy, and maybe you've seen those signs. Maybe it's it's often a triangle, and we have a runner, or a hiker, we have cyclists, and we have a horse. So everybody moves over for the horses. Let those pass. The cyclists are intended to yield to the horse, to the rider, and to the foot traffic, and the runner just yields to the horse. But when it comes to being put into practice, I find that doesn't always get followed. Now, everybody, of course, yields to the horse, but as a runner, and as somebody who I do group runs on the trail with other runners, I find that we tend to, it's almost a competition sometimes between the runner and the cyclist, like who can move over first. Now, as somebody, a foot traffic, I find it's easier for me to get off the side of the trail. And so that's what I try to do. If I see a cyclist, he's bombing a sweet downhill on the trail, I don't want him to have to stop and get off the trail for me to run by him. On the flip side, if he's coming up a climb, I don't want him to have to stop, get off the trail a little bit, and then have to restart riding uphill. So I'm gonna try to move over, give him a wave, and let them kind of see me, so they can keep doing what they're doing. Sometimes it happens that if it's, if the rider sees me first, or the rider has, just gets a little more initiative than me, she might move over for me first. Cool, I appreciate it, but as a runner, just myself, I don't expect anybody to get over for me personally. Okay, so a few more tips and tricks and thoughts to close out this video when it comes to trail running etiquette. And I want to give a quick recommendations on if, I usually wear a vest when I go out trail running, especially for long trails. And part of the reason I like having a vest is because I can store some extra stuff. And for example, in my vest right here, I have a little safety blanket. It's one of those like space blankets you see at the end of a marathon or something. And they're good for keeping you warm. And so I just keep this in my vest, and you never know when you're gonna be out on a trail. And this happened actually last winter to somebody in our local group run out on the trail. She tweaked her ankle, I think, and she had to walk back a ways, totally underdressed for hiking in the winter. And she got very cold. And just having a space blanket with you, having a couple extra granola bars with you. You never know what's gonna happen out in the trail. Even if you're just on a trail in town, thinking like you have to walk back a mile and it's 10 degrees outside, a space blanket, maybe a bar is gonna come in handy. And it's just a nice to have. Also, talking about the trails, trail running etiquette, don't cut the trails. Man, there's this individual trail I run, and there are, don't cut the trail signs. And it's like, why is that even necessary? Like, why would you even need that sign? But it's there obviously for a good reason. And so don't cut the trails, people. Sign or no sign, don't do it. Stay on the trail. And something else, that I just thought of is, let's talk about dogs. This is a tricky subject. If there's a sign that says keep your dog on a leash, like at the trailhead, keep your dog on a leash, no matter how nice of a well-trained dog you have. Now, I will say that with Banjo, when we're out on a trail out of town, we let him off leash. And he does a very good job of staying with near us when we are out hiking. And that's a risk that we take if he were to wander off somewhere. He's never wandered off anywhere. But when you come across other people and your dog is off leash, pick up the dog, grab the dog. Be aware that some people are scared of dogs. I've had a bad encounter. I've been bitten by a dog while out running, and so if a large dog runs up to me, I'm gonna stick my foot out, and the dog might run into the heel of my shoe, but I'm not gonna be bit by another dog. And so I'm gonna, no matter how friendly the owner thinks the dog is, if a dog's running at me, I might try to protect myself. And if that were to happen, if somebody were to kick Banjo because he was running at them, he's only 11 pounds, I would understand. And it's just, you have to balance that. Do you want your dog off leash or not? And if somebody's dog is off leash and you're out running and he runs up to you, it's off leash because it's a good dog. And if nothing happens, don't freak out. Just be cool with it. And this is just my point of view here, but be cool with it. And also, when we're out on the trail, pick up garbage. Pick up your dog poop too, people. But pick up garbage. You see a piece of garbage out on the trail, pick it up. I try to pick up one piece of garbage during every single run I go on. And it's only a little thing, but if every single runner were to pick up one piece of garbage while out running, it'd be a lot cleaner out there. And so it's just a little thing you can do. Pick up a bottle, pick up a little wrapper, shove it in your vest, and dispose of it at the recycling bin or the trailhead when you're done. So thanks for watching. I hope you came away with some good advice. If you have any other tips or tricks, please drop them in the comments. If you thought this was helpful or informative, please give the video a thumbs up or a like. I appreciate it. And as always, thank you for watching.